I am still alive, still going, playing a lot of Axis now. As it was Father's Day, so Sunday, Monday are my holiday, my weekend, and we had Father's Day. We had a surprise birthday party for friends. We had a camping trip with my daughter overnight, and we had a trip to Maine, which is about an hour and a half away, to see grandkids and kids, and to continue the day two of Father's Day. So I've got a great game going on. At some point, I'm going to review it with a couple of German guys. Um, their Italy turn was real strong, and they got extremely lucky, of course, in turn one, with the losses for the Germans being very minimal, which happens just so often. It's disgusting. But anyways, uh, but I'm doing the Mag 7 on them, Magnificent 7, and we'll see how they respond. They did do the Australian. Uh, they took the destroyer down to Australia, so I don't have that component. The destroyer versus destroyer. Uh, so yeah, looks pretty good though. Should be good. I was able to do the sneak attack on Season 6. They did G1 J1, and hadn't seen that in a while, and was able to his transports because I was able to sneak a fighter off from Season 26 to fly to Season 6 and land at Season 7 on the carrier from the West Coast. So pretty cool stuff there. If you've never had that happen to you, does not feel good, for sure. I've done it on a couple of guys. Anyways, got a game with some guys from Denmark, I believe it is, Billy and Panzer, um, in Cap house rule game. I can't remember exactly what they call it, but anyways, it's got tons and tons and tons of units, and so some very interesting stuff. I think I had 13 battles for the Americans last time. Just some crazy stuff as we move up the boot of Italy to march and maybe stand toe to toe eventually with the Germans as we infiltrate uh, Normandy, southern France, Norway, and the Russians are still holding strong, I think, although it could have been touch and go this last time. So we'll see. I don't know all the rules, so there are some jump rules, but you can't do any airborne into Moscow. So I think I've got one more build. He was threatening Moscow for sure out of Belarus this last turn, but was able to use a blocker. And we are finally making some progress on the Japanese, uh, who have been the orange monster in the east, coloring half the board at one point in time. So some strong naval play in the Pacific, a lot of fun, not bunched up, not, basically one of the things I want to bring out in a lot of these games that I'm playing is the World War One strategies being used. So a lot of guys end up defaulting to the World War One foxhole, or I forgot what it's called. It's not a foxhole. It's static lines, um, trench warfare. So if you have a large mass of Japanese fleet and a large mass of American fleet and they never do battle, what's that called? That's trench warfare. So you want to break that up, make them skirmish, have skirmish lines, have reserves, have planes that can overshoot. You have can opening in the Pacific with the Anzac troops and maybe even a sub out of Calcutta. And all of a sudden you have a very dynamic front. And that's what we're looking for, is we're looking for a dynamic front and I'm trying to do that in my game with on AAA. 2 games on AAA, uh, and a lot of fun. So keeping units in the South Pacific, even though I'm doing Magnificent Seven in the North Pacific, so that there is a, he has every one of my opponents right now has a great number of opportunities to battle. Can they win in every one of them? I don't think so. And that's the point, is that at some point in time, you can only send those fighters so many places. And if you're going to send some infantry, Japanese infantry in particular, um, that's more dangerous, right? So Japanese infantry generally are few and far between, although in my game with Simon 33, he's got plenty of ground units, and they're well protected. So a lot of fun. I'm playing a game with a guy named 16. What is it? Jim? No, not Jim 16. Maybe it is Jim 16. And he's playing 42, the tournament edition 3.0. And I'm playing 1940 out of box. I'm playing my house rule game with Schultze. Schultze, I was just able to set up the Italians and the Germans. So I'll do at least Russia tonight. Although that's a complicated situation again, where I kept forces in Leningrad to push him north. And so to keep him out of the Southlands, I wanted to push him north. So I offered him battle in Belarus and Leningrad, then withdrew to Belarus, but with enough forces, his East Poland forces couldn't take it. He also was doing some what I would call adventuring, keeping his tanks in the west, which decreased his attack power, and I was able to hold ground one more round, another round beyond what you'd usually be forced back to Bryansk in turn 3, and I was able to hold in Bryansk. So I think it is turn 4. Yeah, because he did a G2, Schultze's game. I'm also playing a game versus a guy named Stucifer, and I was able to succeed with the allies. Now I'm giving him a chance to do the allies. I'm playing the bad guys. I'm also playing the bad guys versus my games. He's winning, but I've been trying to watch an expert try to take apart the ally axis, and it's hard. And basically avoiding the Napoleonic, big battle. You just you edge them out, taking one territory at a time, grind it out instead of looking for the Napoleonic victory as he retreats. So yeah, and then I also have a game with Doggone It. Now I'm playing the Allies, and again we're winning. But normally I would be quitting this game or offering him a resignation. But I'm trying to, again, he's like a porcupine. How do you kill a porcupine? You kill a porcupine very carefully, right? So the end game there is pretty interesting. In other words, a lot of times we give up because we don't think the Axis can win. That's true, but how do you actually finish? How do you actually succeed with strength and with confidence? It's complicated, and I'm pushing for some of those end game scenarios, because you walk away from the game to go, oh, who won this? Well, enough rounds, careful play. I just had a game where with Simon I was considering sacrificing some stuff, and I looked at my pieces on the board and I realized I was in a piece deficit. And as much as the Allies have power because of their income, I'm playing a game called Balance Mode, and Balance Mod offers the Axis all sorts of extra money. So he's actually at parity, or maybe making more money than me. So we're fighting an uphill battle because of these these. I'm sorry, I do not care for balance mode, um, and I haven't learned it, so I'm handicapped that way. Oh well. I agreed to play the game. I thought we were playing out of box. I will defend myself in that way, because he wanted to do a French rebalance, and then I screwed up the French rebalance